Summer's here, and it's that time of year when your feed fills up with 30-day weight loss programs, most of them being offered by reps from MLM brands.
Here's why you shouldn't take this approach, and we're going to break down 2 market-leading 30-day programs to show you what's in them, offer you a cheeky alternative, and really hammer home why they're not a good idea at all. Hi, I'm James Davis.
And I'm Claire Davis.
We're the Midlife Mentors, here to lift the lid on how to achieve health and happiness.
The balanced, no-nonsense way.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Midlife Mentors with me, James.
And me, Claire. How are you all?
We're sitting here in a sweltering summer in London. We actually went to the Lido. I don't know whether it's Lido or Lido.
I think it's Lido. Let us know.
Lovely 1930 thing. It's great.
Send us an email and you think if it's a Lido or a Lido.
Apart from the 500 kids that were bombing and diving.
Yeah, it was actually quite amazing because it's really 1920s, 1930s, and we've never been there. We've lived in London for 3 years. Well, on and off. Obviously, you know that we escape at the winter to go to Marbella. But we've never been there, and it was lovely. But it was lovely at first, and then like James said, all the children started dive bombing and stuff, and it turned into a bit of a zoo. So we decided to come home. But yes, lovely weather here.
Whoa.
Gorgeous.
Amazing. So today, bearing in mind the weather is like this, it is the summer. Summer holidays are here. A lot of people are thinking about dropping those pounds really fast for their summer break. And we are seeing in our feeds so many people pushing these 30-day weight loss programs.
30-day cleanses.
Like the shake-based approaches. So we thought today we would talk through why these are a really bad idea. And there are lots of them out there. We're going to pick on 2 brands, Isagenix, their weight loss basic pack, and Arbonne, their 30 days to healthy living. I think it's 30 days to health. And just actually break them down for you. We're taking a look. We've gathered what information we can from the internet without actually ordering the packs ourselves.
And we're doing
We're
this.
going to break them down and then also tell you how you recreate it yourself, if you would want to, but actually why you shouldn't.
Yes, well, exactly. Why you actually shouldn't be doing this. And I'm sitting here getting really excited. If you could be a fly on the wall right now, I said this in the last podcast, if you could watch what we're like actually as we're recording this, I'm getting really excited about this because I did a live actually on Facebook a couple of weeks ago about it, and the response I got was phenomenal, talking about how many charlatans there are out there that do peddle juicing and cleansing and shake diets and all these sorts of things, and why it is such a bad idea for your body, your mind and your soul. Because again, these are just quick fixes. They aren't giving you solid, empowered information about how to maintain a healthy lifestyle for life. And we just think it's really, really important from our side of things. Everything we teach is based on science. Everything we feel really, really passionate about is giving you the right knowledge without all the fluff, without all the pseudoscience. We've got to give you this information so you don't fall into this trap, because quite frankly, it can become a never-ending trap. Once you've done it and you get results, because we're going to explain to you actually why you probably will get results on this, but it's not what you think. You'll get results on it and you'll get the quick fix, and then of course the weight's going to pile back on again because it's not sustainable. And then you're going to think, hang on a minute, I've got to get in a bikini in 4 weeks' time. I need to do that shake cleanse again and the juice cleanse. And it comes from people that are not qualified. This is the thing that gets my goat.
We see a lot of this, right? And I do understand why people get into these MLM schemes. A friend or someone recommends it and they get the result, or they think they've got the result.
You're a busy mum.
So then you can make extra money, and they get sucked in. But some of the stuff we see, my belief is, right, if you're going to take someone through some sort of nutritional information course, whatever, eating plan, and or exercise, you should at least have some degree of experience and qualification in that. We've literally had people from these companies contact us because they're running boot camps. They're going, have you got any ideas of exercises we could do? And we're like, well, what's your background? Oh no, I don't have any. I'm like, so you're running a boot camp where you're taking people in and said, have you done parkours with? Oh no. Do you have any background or anything? No. I just like watch something on the internet and then get them to do it. And I was like, I mean, literally,
it is so unethical.
It's terrifying.
It is so unethical. We get people trying to join our groups to try and actually sell their product to people in our groups. And we've had people come up to us and say, can you sell it for us? Because obviously they know we've got a big network of people. I'm like, this is the last thing in the entire world that I would sell to any of my clients. Anyone, even that's not my client, I wouldn't sell this stuff to them. So yeah, it's shocking, like how these companies do get these people in and then start asking them to promote fitness as well and nutrition advice when they are not qualified. So there we are.
So we're going to run through that.
That's the intro.
If you do want some qualified advice, then actually when you're listening to this, next week we're running our free 4-day optimizing hormones and resetting your metabolism course as well, which we ran that a few weeks back, and people, amazing sign-ups, like hundreds of people signed up to it, and the feedback was incredible. People were just like blown away, aha moments, made tweaks, lost weight. People are still emailing us going, it's just changed my life. The weight's dropped off, it's staying off. It's because we're actually talking to you about what's happening like, hormonally for you, in your 40s, 50s, 60s and beyond, and what's probably happened to your metabolism and how you can reset that and rebalance and optimize. So
with the proper nutrition, not stuff like this.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to be sharing next week. It starts on Monday, the 18th of July. And I'm going to put a link in the show notes to sign up. It's going to be phenomenal again. It was just such an amazing time we had. So we thought we'd run it again.
So do check that.
Yeah.
Right, so now on to, I've had so much fun. Well, we've had so much fun researching all this, right? Because we've been meaning to do this for ages. But obviously you have to spend a lot of time trying to get past all the bluster on the websites and actually get to the nutritional information.
Well, that's really important to say. Like, we have done this for you guys out there. Like, we really have. And James has done most of this research. I have to say, I'm the one that just gets all a bit cross and gets a bit agitated. But James, if anyone's listened to lots of the podcasts, James is like really goes into the detail and the science of everything, which I love. Then he imparts that knowledge on me. So he basically does all the research and I get the benefit. But yeah, it has taken a long time for us to go through this because we think it's this important. We feel that passionate about giving you the right information. So without further ado, Isagenix.
Yeah, so I just want to caveat this by saying at the start, I do understand why this is a seductive path. People say, if someone's like saying, oh, this worked for me, it's worked for this, here's case studies, it's just do this 30 days back. And I get it, because you don't have to think, right? They give you, they typically give you a meal plan and some sort of like basic movement plan, and then all these fancy shakes and supplements, and you end up thinking that it's the shakes and the supplements that have made the difference. Let me tell you now, categorically, it's not, right? We're going to go into this, but if you were suddenly to like massively cut your calories and start moving more, guess what's going to happen? You are going to lose the weight anyway. All these other stuff, we're going to go into it now. So let's look.
That's a really important point, isn't it? That actually it's that you don't have to think. But there are so many other ways that are based on science that you can, approach wellness where you don't actually have to think and it's planned out for you, like what we do. Anyway.
It's made us think we should actually come up with an ethical 30-day plan. Maybe that's something for another day.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's look first. One of the big market names, Isagenix. They do lots of health. I think they mainly focus in like health and fitness supplements. They've got various options, but they have their weight loss basic pack, which when I picked up, you can upgrade and get more supplements added in. This is a 30-day program that on their website, the public price is £341. I think if you're in their network or your rep might sell it to you cheaper. For that, you get 4 packs of their Isoline protein shakes, 2 of their Nourish for Life supplement, 1 Ionic Supreme supplement, 1 Thermo GX, 1 Isomove, and 1 times snacks pack.
See how they've given these like fancy names just to bamboozle you?
So let's look at those components first of all. So the Ionic Supreme, they describe this as like herbal botanicals, and it has got a lot of different herbal tinctures in it. I'd say it's basically a herbal tincture. But the second ingredient is molasses. Now, molasses is basically liquid raw cane sugar. So instantly there, we've got a high sugar product. And by the way, we know sugar is a highly addictive, highly calorific and inflammatory to the body and brain. So if anything, we want to try and minimise our sugar intake. Just bear that in mind for the rest of this episode.
And strange that that's one of the key ingredients to most of these is a highly addictive product. So guess what? You're going to get addicted to it. And then you're going to keep buying more and more and more.
So I should probably explain the protocol here. So I think with the Isagenix, the suggestion is that you have 2 shakes a day and 1 meal. You can supplement that with 1 or 2 snacks. And then you can opt for 1 or 2 fasting days a week as well. I'm mentioning the fasting days because for fasting days you get something called the Ionix Nourish, which is basically a little thing. I think you put a shot in a glass, maybe mix it with water. Anyway, it's basically B vitamins, great for energy and metabolism, and fructose is the second ingredient. So again, sugar. You're getting a vitamin B sugar syrup. You also get the Thermo GX, which basically is a pill you take, which is full of weight loss compounds.
And then you get an ISA Move. Love the name of this.
It will get you moving.
It will get you moving because it's a laxative. Who in their right mind is giving out a laxative in their programme?
And I will say again, like I said at the start, obviously, if you were to suddenly dramatically reduce your calories for 30 days, move more, and take laxatives regularly, you are going to lose a lot of weight.
I was about to say no shit, Sherlock.
But let's look at their protocol then. So their shakes are coming in at around 240 calories each. So that's going to be like around 480, let's round 500 calories a day. 1 meal, they recommend it between 500 to 600 calories. Which
is good. And
then 1 to 2 snacks, 100 to 150. So on your eating days, you're probably getting in the region of somewhere that's 1,200 to 1,400 calories. But bear in mind, you're also having 1 fasting day, like 0 calories, or 2 fasting days. So if we put that every week, it's actually going to bring that daily calories down. Now
the pros that we've come up with are that it's actually not that high in sugar. When I say not that high in sugar, it's higher in sugar than the products we're going to give you as an alternative to this. Yeah. But they're not as high in sugar as Arbonne, but they're still high in sugar because of all of this molasses and fructose,
Yeah, we missed out the key one, actually. Obviously, it's the protein shakes because you're drinking those all the time. So the Isagenix ones are whey protein based, which is a plus. They do add lots of vitamins and minerals to them, and they do use stevia as a sweetener. But they're still coming in at 16.9 grams of sugar per 100 grams, which is, it's not crazy high. 21.5 would be considered a high sugar product, but it's high compared to the market for protein powders.
Well, it's still high compared to the one that we recommend everyone had, way higher.
Yeah.
So
and they have 40 grams of protein per 100 grams, which is good. But again, for a protein powder, that's kind of on the lowish side.
Yeah, that's below standard. So pros, not as high in sugar as it could be. I can't even say that as a pro, to be honest, but we've got it in there as a pro because we're trying to be nice. And it is high-ish in protein. The cons are laxatives. I mean, good grief. High sugar supplements for the fasting days. So basically, you're not having any sugar, any food at all, and then you're going to have a high sugar product with these little shots, which is going to send your insulin sky high because you've got nothing else in you to balance it out. And then it's way too low in calories. And the fasting days as well. You can do a couple of fasting days.
The worry with this is, that's a blanket approach. It's a one-size-fits-all.
And you can't do that.
Those 1,200, 1,400 calories potentially could work for a smaller female. For an active guy, because they are getting to do movement as well, that's going to put you in so much of a calorie deficit, you are going to lose muscle mass.
If you are exercising at the same time as doing this and having a couple of fasting days and... Yeah, and taking laxatives. This is dangerous.
An interesting point on this as well. There's more and more research coming out about our glucose response and the hangry thing, and they found that restrictive diets make you more prone to depressive thoughts, tipping in potentially to mental illness over a long time. But that's to do with our glucose, our blood sugar levels. Right. So this is actually you're going to have low blood sugar levels, which increases your fluctuating blood sugar levels, which is going to increase your insulin resistance. And on the days when you're fasting, when you should be minimizing your sugar, you're having these high sugar products, which are going to spike your insulin, again increasing your insulin resistance. So there's 2 things going on here that we don't want. Is we're getting too much sugar, which increasing our insulin resistance, opposite of what we want, and the calories are so low that we're probably going to get something called metabolic thermogenesis, which is our metabolism is going to adapt down to the lower calories because it's such a big drop from what we're normally used to. Plus, we're probably going to lose muscle mass as well, that further compounding that metabolic loss.
Plus, we're going to probably have poor gut health as well because we're not eating properly. Plus, we're going to have so much sugar in our body, we've got inflammation, and we're going to get addicted to it.
Right, so if you were wanting to get it, well, I still would like to do a 30-day program. How could I recreate this at home? We've broken down some alternative products for you. So if you were to go to an online protein retailer, there are many. There's like bulk powders, MyProtein. I've used MyProtein here.
MyProtein. And
you were to buy a bag of whey protein, 2.5 kilos. That's more than enough for 30 days at 2 shakes a day. It's going to cost you £96. There, just to get you correct, so the sugar per 100 grams in the Isagenix was 16.9.
Yeah, listen to this.
In the MyProtein whey protein, it's 4.4. So the Isagenix one is like 4 times higher in sugar. The protein per 100 grams in the MyProtein is 72
Not
grams.
40.
As opposed to 40. So, nearly double. So you can see straight away there, you're getting a much better nutrition profile.
Can I say the last bit? And then he's actually put this in here, which cracks me up.
Well, I have a bit of fun with it.
Which cracks up. Senecot for your laxatives, maximum strength. They're only $3.29. So we're going to break down now how much this costs you in total. About £100. So that's including the Senecot, which we are absolutely, that's a laugh, by the way. We're joking.
We're categorically not recommending that you do this. But it's just to illustrate the point.
That is, so for the beauty of the Isagenix weight loss basic pack, you're paying $341 for 30 days. We've just given you something exactly the same with less sugar and more protein for £100.
And, our view on this is like, you want to enjoy life. Like, nutrition is about nourishing yourself. So, educate yourself on the basics of nutrition. Like, just make better meal choices. Like, have your 2 meals a day. Have the protein shake supplement. Don't take laxatives. Move your body more. You'll get amazing results.
Cut out the sugar. I mean, listen. We're not going to. This isn't a nutrition podcast. Go back and listen to all of our other podcasts around nutrition. But you can see how extremely dangerous that one is. Now we're on to Arbonne. This is 30 days to health. And James is actually, because we're reading off a little sheet because we're going to read what's in this. He's got 30 days to health. That's the programme from Arbonne with an exclamation mark. And this beauty is coming in at $441. Ka-ching!
That's the public price. Again, if you're in the network or you see your rep, you could probably get a slightly cheaper price.
Seriously though, people, £441. And that is just for this pack that we're going to read out now. That's not even an online exercise program. It's not. They do. They
give you a recommended eating plan, a recommended movement plan.
Yeah, but not as in in an app like ours.
It's just like a PDF.
Yeah, it's like a PDF. It's not kind of bespoke to them. It's just a bog standard. This is what everyone's doing.
So before we get into this, my big problem again, like I said at the beginning, unqualified people. We've actually seen people repping Arbonne. And this is quite common with these MLMs. We'll get into this, and then they experience it, and they get quite into it, and they're like, oh, actually, I want to know more, and they then go and qualify as nutritional therapists, nutritionists. But then there's a massive disconnect, right? They must have massive dissonance because once we're going to break this down, it's like, as someone that knows nutrition, how could you, with a clear conscience, continue to recommend something like this?
Well, and this is why it upsets us so much, as you can tell, because it is actually doing so much more harm than good. We're in the world to try and actually make it a better place and actually make you, help you feel empowered with the right information to go and be as healthy and happy as you possibly can be for the rest of your life, without restriction, without the yo-yo dieting, without this constant to-in and fro-in, the all-or-nothing approach. And it does really, really upset us that we see people going off and qualifying and continue to peddle this.
So let's look, what do you get for your £441? You get 1.2 kg packs, I think that was the right, of pea protein, 2 Clean Tox, 2 Energy Fizz, 1 Gut Health, 1 Be Well Super Greens, and another Gut Health. So one of those Gut Healths is probiotics, great. The other one is fruit and veg fibre, prebiotics. So I'd say that's basically a big thumbs up. That's really good. The other components, though, the Energy Fizz sticks.
Oh no, please don't get me started on this. Energy Fizz sticks.
Again,
when I found out about these,
we know someone's on this. Apparently, you recommended to take these when you're feeling low on energy.
All day.
Guess why they pick you up? B vitamins again, which is good for energy. Some herbs, big question mark over the efficacy of those. The second ingredient, pure cane sugar.
But the brilliant thing is, there's no actual sugar breakdown available. So what does that tell you? There's no sugar breakdown available on these energy fizz sticks. It doesn't tell you. But you can imagine it's pretty high.
It's basically a little sachet of sugar
to pick you up.
Vitamins with some flavouring in it.
And what goes up must come down. So once you've gone up, you're going to need another fizz stick.
Yeah. I'm going to give another thumbs up, though, for the Be Well Super Greens. It's actually like a blend of all the different super greens, things like your spirulina, your cholera, all that kind of stuff. So that is actually really good.
I love the way you're being. Oh, then we've got a laxative tea.
Yes, you've got your Clean Tox tea, which is a herbal laxative tea.
So they've got a nice laxative tea in there as well. That's good, because that'll really help you lose the weight.
And then we come to the protein powder. So it's pea based, and the reason for this is they actually say this is not a diet. It's not restrictive. It's about they want you to eliminate allergens from your diet. So you do like no dairy, no coffee,
sugar?
No alcohol.
What about sugar?
Well, exactly. I was going to say this is the irony of it. You're eliminating all these things, but you're actually consuming loads of sugar, which is probably the thing that's causing you the most harm.
And Arbonne is way higher in sugar than, well, actually a little bit higher than sugar than Isagenix, right?
So the problem with their protein powder, it's pea based, which is great if you're vegan or vegetarian, but pea isn't as bioavailable as whey, so you're probably not going to be able to utilise as much of that protein. The fourth ingredient is cane sugar. Again, I don't know why they've added so much sugar to this. It's 7.5 grams of sugar per 100 grams and gives you 50 grams of protein. So again, it's not a high sugar product, but it's getting very close to it, and it's coming in slightly above.
And remember that the one that we gave you, the one that we use, per 100 grams is 4.4 grams of sugar. So that's in comparison to 17.5 grams of sugar.
So I believe it's a bit harder to find information on this because there's so many of these Arbonne reps. They've all got slightly different. They all do their own little versions, but I believe the protocol is similar to the Isagenix. There's 2 shakes a day and 1 meal plus fasting days when you have your fizz sticks. 2 shakes a day. The shakes are actually their servings I think are smaller, or the calories coming lower, around 160 calories, so 320. If your meal is coming in 500, 600, and your fasting days, it's going to be about 1,000 calories while you're on this. So they're saying this isn't restrictive and not a diet. Let me tell you, 1,000 calories a day is restrictive.
If you're doing exercise on top of that, and you're taking laxatives.
Yeah. And again, the problem is, like, we have got higher sugar products put in there. The fizz sticks are going to send your insulin through the roof.
And then you've got to keep taking it because you've gone up, and then you're going to come slumping back down again. I just need to say something that's not in here, actually, James.
What's that?
Well, we know people have been on this programme, and actually... we know that they've been on it, and it was before they met us, because if they'd have said that they were going on it, we would have given them all of this information. But they also give you like a little recipe pack, which is lovely of them. They give you a little recipe pack, and guess what most of the recipes have got in them? They're protein powder. So you're going to basically get highly addicted. You're making more recipes, you know, like muffins and all of these sorts of things with their protein powder, which have got loads of sugar in them. And guess what? You're also going to get through it quicker. So within that 30 days, you're going to have to buy more because you've run out because you're making high sugar goodies. And this is how they get you locked in. Our friend that had done this, she was like, I've never ever craved sugar as much as I've craved sugar having been on this. You know, like I was willy-nilly making my little hot chocolates. That's what it was, a hot chocolate. That was one of the recipes. Hot chocolate with their chocolate protein powder. She was making that every night. I mean, at night as well. So your insulin response is going sky high just before you go to bed. Brilliant.
Yeah. So the same reasons that we said the Isagenix wasn't great, right? It's high sugar, so you're getting that insulin resistance coming in. The calories seem to be even lower, so you're going to get that adaptive thermogenesis, and you're going to lose muscle mass, which is what you don't want to bring your metabolic rate down lower. And obviously, it's quite pricey, this package. Now, if you wanted to recreate this at home, again, this is just for fun. We're not suggesting you do it. Again, that bag of whey protein, 2.5 kilos, 96 pounds, more than enough for 30 days.
We've got a bag of super green powders that we use. It's a 500 gram super green powders, £26.99.
From Boots, you can buy a pre and probiotic, 22 quid. And to finish yourself off...
you could get a Dr. Stewart's laxative tea, obviously, because one is tea, for around £3. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. We're making a joke here. And the total cost for this one, instead of... 441, we've got this coming in at 148. There we are. So we're just going to cover the reasons why you shouldn't be doing these in the first place.
Listen, it's not... I think it's not so much about the cost per se. It's about, like, the marketing spin around it and dressing up a lot of products at with fancy names and kind of fancy language and ticking a
People
lot of
don't know what they're
traditional
taking.
boxes, when actually all you're doing is putting people, I can't stress this enough again, like all these programs are doing is putting you in like a massive calorie deficit and getting you to take laxatives. So of course, over 30
and getting
days,
you to exercise.
you're gonna
no, but they're
and
also
getting you to move as well.
and
So
getting
of
you to
course,
move.
you're going to lose weight, but you do not want to lose weight in this way, right? The fast weight loss is linked to all kinds of negative things, and the weight will always rebound back up. We get adaptive thermogenesis. Your metabolism slows to compensate for the drastically reduced calorie amount.
We get muscle loss, which our muscle mass is decreasing as we're aging anyway. Muscle is metabolically active, and actually as we lose muscle, therefore our metabolism slows down even more.
We're going to get increased insulin resistance from all that sugar in the products, meaning that we're more likely to hold on to fat, actually.
We will have decreased leptin. Leptin is our I'm full hormone, so it signals to us that we are full. We'll get a decrease in that leptin, which means that we'll feel hungrier and experience more cravings, as well as the fact that you've been hooked on sugar.
You'll get low blood glucose, which causes irritability. Again, lots of research coming about that, the old hangry phenomenon.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk something about, this isn't strictly relevant, but there was new research I read just this week, a study on bikini competitors, who obviously do a much more restrictive regime than that, but they were basically looking at what it takes for them to get in shape for the stage, and what happens to their hormones in particular for that. So remember, this isn't the same. These women are getting down to very low levels of body fat. But they found out that this restrictive dieting they do, it takes 3 to 4 months for their hormone balance to return to normal levels.
It's terrible.
Apart from testosterone, which was still back to normal levels after 3 to 4 months.
Not back to normal levels. There we are.
Yeah. So, I hope we've made it clear why please do not do one of these approaches.
Yeah.
Do come and check out our mini course on optimising your hormone health. This is an easy way to, like, when you understand what's going on with your body, when you understand your hormones, the hormone pathways, when you understand your metabolism and the effects things like sugar has on it, then you've got the keys in your hand to lifelong, getting the results you want.
You don't have to do this stuff anymore. And this stuff is always going to make you pile on the pounds afterwards, because you haven't got the education around understanding nutrition and how, like James said, how it works with your hormones, how it impacts your metabolism. So this is the stuff that we can't get away with at midlife. We can't get away with it anyway, but we can get away with it even less at midlife because of the myriad of hormones, our slow metabolic rate, our low mood, our serotonin, our gut health, our neurotransmitters, all of these sorts of things. So come and learn the right way from experts that are absolutely passionate about this and have got a plethora of experience helping other midlifers get the results they want and stay there. And that's all we've got to say on this. We've been wanting to do this one for a while.
I hope that helped.
Let us know how you find it.
Send your comments in. We'd love to hear them. Team at the Midlife Mentors.
Send in lots of love. Bye.
Yeah. You've been listening to the Midlife Mentors with Claire and James Davis.
We'd love to hear from you. So drop us a line at info@themidlifementors.com with any questions or topic suggestions.
And make sure you join us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can find us under The Midlife Mentors. Yeah.